this has been my biggest investment ever in crypto, has been in layer ones. Obviously in Ethereum, obviously in Cardano, Cosmos, Elrond, tons of projects out there, Algorand. But I want to know, when it comes to, I want to get your thoughts on other layer one platforms. But first, like, let's start, can we pause for a moment of silence for Solana? So I've said I think Solana is, that was good. See, I got to laugh. So I think Solana or Cardano is the anti-Solana. I think there are two as different projects as you can see out there. One is, we can pause it, we can do whatever we want. We're going to pump it from the inside. We're going to distribute our coins to a bunch of, venture capital and team members and things like that. You guys took a much different approach. What is your thoughts on Solana today? Do you think it's going to survive just because they pump money from the inside?
I don't really think much of Solana. I mean, it doesn't come up. There's nothing on the technology side or any of these things. It's like they seem to have been very adept at growing an ecosystem, and maybe it was
an ecosystem without a community. I mean, where are the Solana fanboys?
There's tons of them. I know that because they yell at me on Twitter.
It's like 3 guys with 7 alt accounts.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but Twitter's not really real.
People get slammed on Twitter.
Look,
I didn't know.
They're loved in Silicon Valley, and actually, some people in the Solana ecosystem even gave people in this room money. They certainly have big wallets and big aspirations, and they work really hard, and they've grown an ecosystem, for better or for worse. I pay attention to layer ones that add something to the conversation. You look at Algorand, they add things to the conversation. Great VRF research, really cool stuff in the BFT space. They're starting to do the post-quantum stuff. It's real technology. Avalanche is real technology. Even Ethereum with the merge is like a blueprint on what not to do. So it adds something to the conversation.
That's good.
Okay, so
burn.
So there's tons of great stuff out there. Small caps like Ergo, big caps like a Bitcoin, and every one of them gives something there. If somebody goes and builds something and makes a lot of value, and it just on off-the-shelf stuff, and they're moving fast and breaking things, all the power to them. And if that community likes using it and that's their thing, all the power to them. There's no competition there because we have so radically different philosophies. Obviously, the applications and use cases that we would pursue as an ecosystem would be different from the ones they pursue. And because the Venn diagrams don't overlap, where are we competing? We're not. So why care? Why have tribalism? Why even worry about it? It doesn't bother me at all. It is a case study on what not to do on network design and these types of things and how not to scale a blockchain. That's great. There's something to learn. And every now and then we have some good fun. Like a joke is not tribalism. It's not reality. It's okay to have the Nintendo cartridge and blow on it and tweet that. Because at the end of the day, does that really materially impact or affect anything? If Solana was working on an interesting thing that happened to overlap on our Venn diagram, and they came to us and said, we'd like to co-author a paper together or do that, sure. Why not? It's better for both of us. It works for both of us. We have plenty of blockchain ecosystems that do that publicly are not so nice on Twitter and so forth. So you got to set the social media version of reality apart from the actual version of reality for the projects. And there's probably some good there. And if it ever comes into our orbit, then of course we'd talk about it and have an opinion on it one way or the other.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put it. I think when you're talking about what you guys are doing, I mean, I've always thought Cardano is probably the best. It is the best layer one platform. I do think Ethereum does have a little bit of a first mover's advantage, a little bit, right? I think right now it's kind of their market share to lose, but I certainly think that if there's one out there, I really don't put anything on probably Cardano's level outside of Ethereum, and just because of the things that I mentioned there. But let's go back to the Cardano ecosystem itself. We've got some DEXs, we've got NFTs there, we have other dApps. Like, what are you excited about when it comes to what's being built on the Cardano network right now?
Well, there's some really cool out there utility, like the whole Singularity ecosystem that Ben and friends are building. There's World Mobile and what they're building, and it's really hard to argue with like decentralized telecommunication. That's really cool. There's a ton of RealFi projects in Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia that are coming, and I think your water's there, that are coming, that are really exciting, and we follow them, collaborate with them. Like Possessia just raised 11 million, and that's going to come to our ecosystem pretty soon. Some cool things on wallets that are really making some good headway. Algorithmic stablecoins as well, Jet in particular is looking fun. The sidechains movement's going to bring a lot of bridges and new experiences to Cardano. So it's one of those, now that Vossel's out, just kind of wait and see. And we certainly contribute some, but most people in this room are doing their own thing. The biggest surprise for me was the convergence of metaverse, GameFi, and NFTs on Cardano. I keep saying it because it crept up on us. 6 million issued assets, 40% of all the projects on Cardano are NFT related. It's really cool, and it's super creative, and it's brought a lot of new actors into our space that have no prior blockchain experience, no prior blockchain connection, and they're finding Cardano as their first entry point. Used to be you started with Bitcoin, and that was the gateway drug, and that corrupted you. And then you go into the crypto space, and you're like a crypto alkaline. But now we have people going straight from normal life into crypto life through NFTs into Cardano, which is so cool. That's broadening the tent in a certain respect. So you just got to watch it, and you just got to see how these things evolve and materialize. And there's a lot of things on the partnership side that I think will happen, especially as we talk about standards and certification, bridges, and we talk about multi-coin wallets and dApp certification and these types of things. It's going to bring a lot of transitivity between the ecosystems, especially small cap cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, that's great. We're working on an NFT platform that we'll be rolling out, sometime late this year, next year. Cardano NFTs will be included on that. So we're super excited about that. There's so much value in the Cardano NFT community. I know they just had the conference last weekend. You were there. It's really cool to see, people actually getting behind NFTs that aren't just like trying to buy them for $1 zillion and sell them for 10 cents like Logan Paul did, right? But I want to talk to you about kind of some of the things that we're talking about here. Like, a lot of people consider you to be one of the elder statesmen of crypto. You've been in here since the beginning, and there's a constant battle of trying to stand up for the crypto community, but then and what's right and decentralization and good direction that all this goes, and then also for you personally being vested in Cardano. Sometimes that can get a little wonky there because it's hard to draw those lines. Now, recently, you made some comments about the Ripple case, right? I'm not a tribalist myself. I've got coins I like, I got coins I don't like, but I'm not a maximalist. I don't think it makes sense to be an altcoin maximalist. I think we really want to see the whole crypto ecosystem thrive. But basically, you made some comments about the case, and it's one of these things where you're trying to, as a person who understands things very well, explain with a Ripple case that, no, it's not a security, that's what we should be focusing on, while a lot of the people in the XRP community are focusing on the, as you called it, a grand conspiracy. I think there's a lot of truth to the conspiracies, but I think you've got to look at them as two separate issues. I think certainly SEC needs to be held accountable, but that's down the road. Also, right now, we just need them, need Ripple to win that case. And by the way, if you're in the Cardano community and you're thinking like, I sure do hope that XRP loses, that Ripple loses, that's not the right way to look at it, because any coin out there can be next. If the SEC continues this regulation by enforcement, this is a key point, it doesn't matter if you did anything wrong. It doesn't matter if you did anything wrong. You can do everything right, and they still can come after you.